Now we're gonna focus on the pump handle. This is one of the areas that really needs some TLC postpartum, and it's part of that 360-degree breath. Pump handle simply refers to the area, I like to think of it from the bra line to the neck. So we want this area to be able to move kind of outwards and up without the lower ribs excessively moving. So the lower ribs are going to move out while this area kind of moves up in a perfect inhale, which doesn't happen, and we don't need that to be able to go climbing again. Just so you kind of understand the viewpoint that I am coming from. Now for the pump handle, the biggest thing that I see climbers struggle with here is gripping down, trying to get this to open up. We can't grip down because that is going to sort of defeat the purpose and make it really mechanically hard to let this area right here open up. So make sure when you're exhaling and we're going through this pump handle stuff that you're not here and gripping down and letting this kind of be the driver of the show. One of the ways I like to work on pump handle, especially in the beginning, is just against a wall because it's easy, you're on the ground, it doesn't take a whole lot. I want to make sure that I can kind of get a gentle posterior pelvic tilt here, so the pelvis is kind of rolling up towards the rib cage without the rib cage coming down to meet the pelvis, okay? So we want to think pelvis meets rib cage, not rib cage meets pelvis. Now from here, what I can do, just depending on how you feel, what's going on with you, you may want to get a couple of yoga blocks, towels, whatever, to be able to push against. So if I have the yoga block here, I can kind of push against it. If you feel like you don't need that and you can just kind of push against the wall, but see, when I push against the wall right here, I'm losing that connection sort of with the low back. So I just don't have that much ability to kind of go in that external rotation with my shoulders. So I'm gonna meet myself where I'm at, and I'm gonna I've got a yoga block on the other side of me right here as well. And I'm gently pushing against the yoga block, okay? I've got tension, and again, I'm not gonna come here, okay? That's not what I wanna do. I'm aiming to keep this lifted without losing height in my head, gently lift the chin. Now I'm gonna inhale. I want to feel this moving, and then exhale, tension, bottom up, bottom up, bottom up, bottom up. You could also kind of roll like a pillow or a little towel right here if you're finding it really hard to keep that control in your belly. So now I've exhaled, kind of felt that ISA angle close a little bit, deep core on, pressing gently into the blocks. Gonna inhale. So the goal here is as you're breathing, we want to make sure that this is the part that's moving, okay? So there, I'm just kind of facilitating my inhale with those lower ribs. We want to make sure that we can kind of keep all the other stuff static while we inhale and get just this right here to move, which is a lot easier said than done. That anterior expansion. You want to practice it. We don't want to just like check the box one time and like, okay, never have to work on that again. But it may take a little bit for you to actually be able to feel that. So that's what you want to remember. The goal is to be able to feel it. And then ideally, especially when we are working in breathing drills, you're going to be like, okay, I need to feel my pump handle, check, I can do that. So that is the last part of that 360-degree breath, and that was your pump handle.